that human beings really are just organic robots and actually have no consideration for life. Here we have research that were done to see if children really require more than just being fed, and if young children do require the mother-infant bond. Here you have researchers who took Rhesus monkeys, and at the age of between 6 to 12 hours, they separated these baby monkeys from their mothers and split the monkeys up into two groups and put them in different cages. Now, in the one cage, as a mother, they took wire mesh and they made a form out of the wire mesh, and they put it in the one cage for the one set of baby monkeys. In the next cage, they took the wire mesh, but they put soft cloth over the wire mesh for that set of monkeys. So what they found was that in this research, they found that the baby monkeys did prefer the soft, intimate touch of the mesh that was covered with a soft cloth. And that what they found that if there was an opportunity for the baby monkeys that were raised by the mommy without the soft cloth, if they were placed in a cage where there was both the soft cloth mommy and just the wire mesh mommy, they would all go for the soft cloth mommy, even though they'd been raised by just the wire mesh mommy. Thus, through these research methods, proving that all of the babies required the soft connection with a mother. So, the softness, bodily touch, that kind of thing. So now, what does this prove to you, these kind of research methods? What do they prove to you about the human? If you observe a lot of tribes and your more native types of tribes that live in harmony with nature and work in a group setup, to gather food for the tribe and things like that. They don't have research facilities. They don't have scientists. Okay, they don't ask 100 million questions around the development of babies, and if babies have mother-infant connections, and if babies have an emotional connection to the mother. They simply grow up and they teach the child about how to become part of the group, how to gather food and produce clothing and build and work with their hands to become a functional member of the group. Now, what do your more westernized people do? We tend to want to have emotional connections and validate our emotions and feelings. So what happens here in the research is that a life form, which in this case would be the monkey, is taken away from its mother and it's put inside a cage with a mesh form for a mother. And this life form is not taken into consideration. And why is this done? This is done simply to prove whether the human baby needs an emotional connection with its mother. So for us to be able to validate and participate in our own emotions and feelings, we will completely disregard and abuse another life form. So we'll say, look, it doesn't matter if the monkey is also a life form. It doesn't matter if the animals that have to endure the life in a laboratory, it doesn't matter what they go through. What matters is that I can prove through abusing them that they did indeed have some kind of an emotional experience and an experience where they required intimacy and touch, and through that I can validate my own emotions and feelings by having children and by going, oh, but research showed that babies do require an intimate bond with a mother. So are we actually bringing life into this world? Are we actually supporting life? No, we are not. We are organic robots that want to validate and support our own emotional experience by participating in research studies where we can abuse other life forms to be able to publish our findings, and through our findings validate to each other why we get to be addicted to our emotions and feelings. And in that, we are not supporting life on this planet because we've abused the life form to get to validate our emotions and feelings. So Yet again, proving that the human cannot be trusted. The human is not doing anything to support life. I mean, it's one thing if we observe children and we observe how they develop and so forth, but it's another thing to abuse another life form to get to a search result which gets us an emotional feeling, which is an experience inside of us which is connected to the addiction to energy. It's not even supporting all life on this planet equally. You're not even doing anything that's actually supporting the child and becoming functional. You're simply doing it to support parents in their emotional experiences. Let's say if it had to be the other way around, where these tests could not be done on animals, and for us to be able to do these tests we had to take a human child and put it in a cage and place in a mesh form and observe the child's reaction to its mother being a mesh form. Humans would never do that, because then all of a sudden it becomes about, oh, the rights of the baby, but the baby is a human. So what? You've just over hundreds of years of scientific experimentation proven that all life forms actually respond and have experiences that they go through and experience abuse. I mean, did the experiment with the monkey not prove to the scientists that they are abusive by placing the monkeys in a cage where they have the choice of the soft mommy or the wire mesh mommy? They all went for the soft mommy and even ignored their own mommy. That's what they have proven in this science. So the scientists themselves prove how abusive they are. I mean, if you test on animals and that animal bleeds and gets scars to its body because you've poured some product that goes into shampoo into the animal's eye, and that animal screams and suffers and has blood coming out of it, therefore proving that that product is harmful. The only way you could prove that that product is harmful is by placing it inside an organic body which experiences pain and suffering and damage. So you've proven to yourself that you are abusing life. And yet human beings will conveniently in the mind move and create a separation between that as a human and that as an animal. But what actually created that separation? I mean, for us as humans to not experience pain and to have our nice feelings of emotions and feeling loved, we have to test on animals. How is that possible that we can equate in our minds that for us to have a nice experience, we can give another living creature the bad experience, which proves that we are now safe? If we make that product safe, we get to have the good experience. Yet again, proving that the human is abusive, the human destroys life and is therefore not life. Thank you.